Ever wanted to write an ebook and thought it would take forever? In this video, I will show you how to create an entire ebook within minutes using make.com, whether it is for business or personal project or for passive income. You will be amazed how easy it can be. You don't need any coding skills or design skills. Check out the links in the description if you would like to get all the resources used to build this automation. Tools we need to set up this automation are make.com to automate the workflows. You can create a free account with Make. With free account, you will get 2 free active scenarios and 1000 free operations, which is sufficient for us to build this automation. Next is pdf.co. It's a cloud-based service that offers a suite of tools for working with PDFs. We will use this tool for converting HTML to PDF file. You can create a free account with pdf.co. They also offer a 1-month free trial. Next is Google Forms. We will use this to develop the submission form. Next is OpenAI API key. I made a separate video with the title How to create OpenAI API key. You can refer to the link in the video description. We will use ChatGPT to create ebook outline, the images and the ebook chapters on the given topic. You can also use any other alternate LLM models such as Claude AI or Perplexity AI. Make sure you have some credit balance in all of your API key accounts. Gather all mentioned details beforehand so that you can build the Make automation without any interruption. Download the resources I provided in the description before you start building the automation. Using the template will save you a lot of time as compared to starting it from scratch. Let us assume you are a fitness coach and would like to offer a fitness ebook as lead magnet for your prospects. You want to design a form to capture the fitness ebook request details and email the PDF file to the prospect. This will be a simple workflow. Let us look at the process flow and the steps involved to accomplish that. Here you can see the overall flow of the process. First we have the Google Forms. The ebook request details will be submitted via the Google Forms. Then we have this ChatGPT that will generate an outline based on the request details on the Google form. The ebook request may contain that it may have 3 chapters or 4 chapters or 5 chapters. Depending on that, ChatGPT will generate an image for each chapter and then write the content for each chapter. And once the content and the images have been generated for all the chapters, a PDF file will be generated and then that PDF file will be sent via email to the prospect. Let us have a look at the Google Forms that is created to capture the basic information about the ebook that we will be creating. Here you can see the form. You can use any form tool for creating this. We are using Google Forms here as it is free to use. You can easily create a new form by clicking this plus sign here. You can also use the form that I created here and make adjustments to suit your requirement. I shared this link in the resources file. Here we are collecting the email and then the first name. Then we are gathering the ebook title and then the description. Then who the ebook is intended for, the target audience, and then what should be the tonality of the ebook that is generated, whether it should be friendly or it should be professional or it should be humorous, like that. And then how many chapters are needed. Click on the drop down box here and then choose how many chapters are needed. Then we are asking for the reading level for the ebook. We can click on this drop down box and then select the value appropriately. Make sure you submit the form few times so that necessary fields are available for the subsequent modules in the Make automation that we are going to set up. Let me type in the values here and then submit the form. I'm typing my name here. I'm providing my email address here, my first name. Here is the ebook title. Here is the ebook description. My target audience is gym goers and I want the tone of voice to be professional. And number of chapters, let us choose 3. And for the reading level, let us select 9th grade and now hit this submit button. You will get the message that response has been recorded. Now let us walk through the Make workflow automation. To start working with the template, first log into your Make account by clicking this login button here. You can see here I am logged into my Make account. Click on this create a new scenario button here. Then click on this more button here. Then click on this import blueprint. Then select choose file button here. Then navigate to the directory where you downloaded the Make template file and then select the file, then click open here. Once you see the file name displayed here, click on this save button. You can see the model has been imported. The first module is Google Forms watch for response module. This will wait for the response for the form submission. Once the form is submitted, our Make workflow will be triggered. Click on this module to configure it. If you already created a connection it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here, and once you click on that one, you will see this create a connection dialog box pop up. You can give any name to the connection here, then click on this sign in with Google button and follow all the prompts to allow make to establish a connection to your Google account. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. Here you need to provide your Google Forms ID, and this form ID you can get it from the URL of your Google Forms. Let us see how we can find this out. Let us navigate to the Google Forms. Here is the form that I have designed, and you can see this is the URL portion that you need to copy and paste it back here in the form ID field. And for the limit, you can just enter 1 and then click on this OK button. Now I can do a small test to see how it is working and how the data is coming up. It's a good idea to keep testing the workflow as we build to make sure we are getting the expected results. In order to test this module, right click on it and then choose where to start, and then click on this choose manually button. Here it will show you a list of Google Form submissions. Let me select one of them and then click OK here. Now let us right click on this module and then click on this run this module only. You can see we got the data from our Google Forms submission. You can see here data size is 1.4 KB. You will see data size 0 if you did not get any data from the Google Forms submission. We can check these answers from the form submission, expand this, and then we have all these questions answered here. Expand this text answers and then 1. Here we have the value. Since we are able to see the output data from the Google Form submission, we know it is working as expected, and we will be able to configure the subsequent modules. Click on this X button to close it out. Next is the ChatGPT outline module. We are using the AI ChatGPT to generate the outline for the chapters. If the Google Form has 5 chapters, an outline will be generated for the 5 chapters. If it has 8 chapters, an outline will be generated for each of the 8 chapters. Click on this module. Again, if you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here, and once you click on that one, you will see create a connection dialog box pop up, and you can give any name to the connection here. Here you need to copy paste your OpenAI API key, and you can also enter your OpenAI organization ID. I will show you where you can find the API key for the OpenAI. Log into your OpenAI account by going to platform.openai.com. Then click on this gear icon. Then click on your profile option here. Then click on this user API keys, and then you can copy your API key from here and then paste it in the make.com API key field. And under organization and general tab, you can find your organization ID. You can also copy paste this organization ID into the make.com organization field. Once you entered the values, click on this save button. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my OpenAI account. For select method field, we are going to use chat completion, and for the model we will be using GPT-4 O mini, which is the least expensive of all the models that are available. If you want to select a different model, you can click on this drop down box and then let it refresh, and then you can choose any model that you want to use. Now we are providing prompts to ChatGPT and giving instructions on how it should generate the chapter outlines. In the message 1, we have given user as the role, and in the message content we have provided the instructions. We're saying create an outline for an ebook. The outline should be based on the following information. We have provided the book title, we have provided the description and how should be the voice tone, then who is our target audience. These values all will be obtained from the Google Forms previous module. And what should be the reading level. If you want to map these fields, you can click on this. For example, reading level, you can click in this field, and then this previous module fields will be available for you for selection. Then you can click on this reading level, expand this reading level, and then text answers. Then click on the answers and then select this value. You can see it is showing here 9th grade, which we selected. Then we are providing another prompt to ChatGPT. Here we are saying in addition to the number of chapters, we also want one chapter as an introduction and one chapter as conclusion. Here we are giving a third prompt. Role is system, and then here is the message content. So we are telling the ChatGPT to provide the output in JSON format. Here you can see we have specified I want the output to be in JSON separated by chapters. We also need to provide an example for ChatGPT so that it will produce the output in the required format. Here is the exact structure of the data I want you to follow, but the number of chapters could always be different. It can be 3, 5 or 8. So we are giving the title and then the title placeholder, description and then the description placeholder, and then tone of voice. For each field we are providing the placeholder for that, and we are asking it to generate the output in this format. For max tokens you can leave the value at 3000 and the temperature you can leave it at 0.2. Temperature denotes the creativity of the output that is being generated by ChatGPT. The lower the number, it will be more factual. The higher the number, it will be more creative. And make sure in the response format, you specify JSON object. And again, parse JSON response should be set to yes. You can leave the rest of the fields as they are and then click on this OK button to save your changes. Let us do another test here and see how it is working so far. In order to do that, right click on this link and then choose this unlink option so that all the rest of the modules are disconnected from these first two modules. Now again, right click on the forms module and then click on this choose where to start. Click on this choose manually. Then you can select any one. Now click on this run once button. You can see the module is running now and it has generated an output. We can click on this magnifying glass to see what output has been produced by this module. Let me click on this. And then here you can see this is the input and this is the output. You can expand this result further and you can expand these chapters. You can see it has produced 5 chapters. It is working as we expected. Let us continue configuring the next modules. In order to do that, again connect this back to the iterator module. In the previous module, we have generated outlines for 5 chapters. It can be 3, 5, 7 or 8 depending on the form submitted. Now we want to generate an image and the actual content for each chapter outline that was generated. The iterator module allows us to set up a loop for this purpose. It will process each bundle generated in the previous module. Click on this module and then select this chapters array here. There is not much to configure here. Just click on this OK button. Next is the ChatGPT generate image module. The generate image module will generate an image for each of the chapters that are coming from this iterator module. Click on this module to configure it. You should be able to use the OpenAI connection you already established in the previous ChatGPT module. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. In the model, select DALL-E 3. Here we are providing the prompt and instructing ChatGPT on how it should generate the image. We have specified you are creating an image for an ebook chapter. Generally, the ChatGPT will produce an image and it may put text on it, and usually the text is not spelled properly. For that reason, we are instructing it not to include any text in the image. We're telling not to include any numbers in the image and not to include any digits in the image. We are inserting it here, but there is no guarantee that it will follow that. And here is the chapter you are tasked with creating an image for. We are giving the title of the chapter and description of the chapter. Click on this OK button to save your changes. Next is the ChatGPT generate chapter module. So here we are using ChatGPT to generate the actual content for the ebook chapter, which has been outlined by the previous ChatGPT module. Click on this module to configure it. Again, you should be able to use the ChatGPT connection that you already established in the previous module. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. Here you can see I am already connected to my OpenAI account. For select method, again we are using chat completion. Again for the model, we are using ChatGPT 4o mini. And again we are giving the prompts to ChatGPT and instructing it how it should generate the content of the each chapter. So we are providing the role as user, and then we are saying please write chapter, and then we are giving the chapter number of my ebook, and then we are giving all the details. Here is the title, here is the description, here is the voice tone, and here is the target audience, and we are giving it the outline which is generated by this ChatGPT module. We are giving the second prompt here. We have specified the role as system, and then the prompt is your response must be in HTML format. The primary header for each chapter would be H2, then subsequent headers should be H found. Again in the message 3, we are giving the role as a system, and then we are telling it not to include any commentary or additional text before or after the chapter you are creating. Here in prompt 4, we have given the role as assistant. Here we are telling it to insert the image at this specific location. And in the last and final fifth prompt, we have specified the role as system, and then we are telling it not to include HTML or anything else in the beginning. Once you finish configuring this module, click on this OK button to save your changes. Next we have the aggregator module. The aggregator module is the counterpart of the iterator module. It is designed to bring back the data together. Here we are generating each image and then each chapter, and it is looping through 3 or 4 or 5 times, and in this array aggregator we are bringing all that together. Essentially, the aggregator module merges multiple bundles of data into a single unified bundle. Click on this to configure this module. In the source module, we are using the iterator module. It takes data from this source module, usually that will be an iterator, and then the aggregator accumulates all the bundles it receives. Then it creates a single bundle containing an array with one item per each bundle accumulated. In the target structure type, you select this custom field, and then in the aggregated fields option, you select this result field. Once you finish configuring this module, click on this OK button to save your changes. Let us do a small test and see how the data is coming up so far up to this array aggregator. In order to do that, let us right click on this link and then choose this unlink option. These modules are disconnected now from the scenario flow. We don't want to run this for all the chapters, so let us set up a filter here and then run it only for the chapter 2. Right click on this line here and then click on this setup a filter. You can give any name to the label here, and then let us select the chapter number equals to 2. Then click on this OK button. Now we have set up a filter here and we're asking it to bring in only chapter number 2. Let us run the scenario and see how it works so far. Again, right click on the forms module and then click on this choose where to start and select any value. Now click on this run once button. If you receive any warning message, you can click on this ignore warnings and then click on this run anyway button. You can see the scenario is running now. You can see one value has passed to the filter and it is generating the image now. Now it is generating the chapter. Now we have this array aggregator. We can look at this output and see how the data is coming up here. We know now it is working for one chapter. Let us modify this filter and say we want to get 2 chapters. In order to do that, right click here, click on the setup the filter again, and then make sure this operator is less than or equal to 2 and then specify number 2 here. Then click on this OK button here. Let us run this scenario. Right click on the forms module, then click on this choose where to start. Click on this choose manually. Select any value from here. Click this OK button. Now click on this run once button. Let us wait for the scenario to finish execution. We can see it is running for the second chapter now. Click on this magnifying glass for the array aggregator module. Here we can see it has received 2 bundles, but it combined everything into one bundle. Now let us configure the next modules. For that, connect these modules back again. Now click on this tools module. Here we are creating a variable named as results, and we are using 2 make functions to populate this variable as one single text with all the chapter contents. Let us see how this map function works. The map function takes the first argument as a complex array and then returns a primitive array containing values of a complex array. That means, for example, let us say your complex array has 5 fields in it, but we want to extract one field out of those 5 fields. So what we are doing here is we are using this map function and then using this array field that has multiple fields, and we are asking it to extract only the result field. This is also a resulting in an array, but it will contain only the value of the field that we have mentioned here. Once we got that, we will use join function to combine everything into one single line. As you can see, the join function combines all the items of an array into a single string. So here we have the number of arrays depending on the number of chapters. You may have 3 arrays or 4 arrays or 5 arrays, but each array will represent the image and then the content for the chapter. So what this join function will do is join all those images and chapters into one single line, and for each chapter we are saying it should put a new line as a separator between those chapters. So what this is going to accomplish is we're going to have all the chapters in a single line. It will have image of the first chapter, then content of the first chapter, and then it will give two new lines, and then it will be followed by the image of the second chapter and then contents of the second chapter. Then again two new lines will be inserted, and then it will be followed by image of the third chapter and content of the third chapter. Make sure you have these values showing here properly, and then click on this OK button to save your changes. Next, we have the markdown module. We are using this markdown module to make sure we are getting all the output in HTML format. Click on this markdown module. Here we are specifying the heading of the article, and then we are giving two line breaks, and then here is the entire content of the ebook, and all this will be generated in HTML format. Make sure you see these values and then click on this OK button to save your changes. Next is the generate PDF module. Finally, we have this generate PDF module that takes the input from the previous module, which is in the HTML format, and converts into a PDF file. Click on this module to configure it. If you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop-down box. Else you will see create a connection option here, and once you click on that, you will see create a connection dialog box pop up. In the connection name here, you can give any name to the connection, and here you will need to copy paste your API key. Let me show you where to find the API key in the pdf.co. Log into your pdf.co account and then click on this dashboard. So here you can see your API key. You click on this copy button and then come back to the make scenario and then paste the API key value here. Then click on this save button. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my pdf.co account. So here we are specifying, we are using conversion type as HTML to PDF, and we are saying input HTML code is HTML that is coming from the previous module, and here we have specified the output file name. Then in the export options we have specified export type as download a file. Once you finish configuring this module, click on this OK button to save your changes. Next is the send email module. So we are using this email module to send email to your prospect. The PDF has been generated by the previous module. Click on this module to configure it. Again, if you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here, and once you click on that, you will see create a connection dialog box pop up. Then click on this drop down box and then select Google restricted here. Then give the connection name and click on this save button. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my email account. You can also use Gmail instead of the email module here. There are few additional options in the email module that we can specify. For example, the content type we can specify as plain text in the email module. In the email address one, we specify the email address of the prospect, and in the subject we have specified the title of the ebook. Then in the content we have specified, hey, thanks for requesting a free ebook from us. You can type in whatever you would like to type here. And then in the attachments we have specified pdf.co convert HTML to PDF. Once you finish configuring this module, click on this OK button. We have finished configuring all the modules now, and our scenario is now ready for testing. Since we have already tested that earlier with 2 chapters as a filter, we can remove the filter now and then test the scenario with all the chapters. I click here to modify the filter, then click on this setup a filter, and then you can click on this X button to delete the filter condition. Then click on this OK button to save your changes. Then click on the save button here to save your scenario. Now let us run our scenario and see how it works. Again, right click on the Google Forms module here and then click on this choose where to start. Then choose manually radio button here. Then select one form submission. Click OK here. Then click on this run once button here. You can see the scenario is running. I'll pause the video here and let it finish. We can see the whole scenario finished successfully. We can see it has generated 5 chapters. Let us log into my email and check whether we have received the PDF file. I logged into my email account and you can see here we have received the PDF in the email. Let us click on this and see how the PDF is generated. You can see it generated very nice PDF. This is the title that we have given. Complete Guide to Building Power and Performance. Chapter 1, the Foundations of Strength Training. And then here is the image. Then we have the contents of the chapter. As we scroll down, we have the chapter 2. Here you can see the image generated for that. It looks really nice. And here is the chapter content. Then we have this chapter 3, the fundamentals of strength training. And this is the image that has been generated. And here is the content. Then chapter 4, here is the image that has been generated. And then finally the chapter 5, here you see the image that has been generated. And then this is the content. After completing the scenario configuration, testing and making sure it is working as expected, you can use this scheduling option to run the scenario at specified intervals. Click on this scheduling option and here you have different options available for you. You can choose to run it every day or specific days of the week or on demand. Choose the value that is suitable to your requirements. Then click this OK button. Finally, you will need to activate the scenario by clicking this button to on position. Here you can see now it is turned on. Then finally save your scenario by clicking this save button. Congratulations! You successfully built ebook workflow automation in Make.com. If you found this video useful, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section if there is any specific topic you want to be covered. Bye until next video.